Good morning, everybody. Welcome to No BS Ted. I'm Ted from TED Talks Ball. This is Ryan, the No BS from No Border Sports. Ryan, how are you doing this fine Tuesday morning? Almost midday.
Good. Now that we got Daniel Barry Sports in the house. What up, Daniel Barry? You got the highlights.
He has his own channel.
Here, let's turn that down a little bit.
Make sure you check out his channel. And he's a Rams fan, but he's pretty cool for a Rams fan. One of the cooler ones. So.
Warriors, Kings, fire, he says.
We can dive right in on that. I don't know. It's obviously, huge importance for both teams because, it's winner or go home as the 9 and 10 seed. There's no second chance. Like the 7 and 8 seeds can lose, and the loser of the 7-8 plays the winner of the 9-10. The loser of the 9-10 goes home, and no 10 seed, which is what the Warriors are, has ever even made the playoffs, let alone like won it all or won a ring from being the 10th seed. So, if the Warriors do well, they are poised to make history just by making the playoffs. But I think they'll maybe even make a little noise. They're playing pretty well. They, have some young guys that are starting to play well. Pajemski and Trace Jackson Davis, TJD.
So I don't follow basketball after they took away my Sonics. So as somebody who doesn't watch, let me get some answers from you kind of about the Warriors. What would you say they do well, which will get them through the toughest points going ahead? And what are their weaknesses? What are people going to try and expose?
Well, they got obviously the big three, Clay, Dre, and Steph, that won the 4 rings, the core 3, but they're getting old. And then they got a couple of young guys, 3 young guys, 4 young guys, Moses Moody and Kuminga, who've been around for a couple, 3 years. And then they have new guys, rookies this year. One guy's name is Pajemski, and he came from Santa Clara U. And then there's a guy named Trace Jackson Davis who's playing really well. But what they don't have a lot of is guys in the sweet spot, the kind of middle-aged players in the NBA, which is what the best teams tend to be made up of. It's basically just Andrew Wiggins and Kevon Looney. And Looney, for a large chunk of the season, wasn't playing very well. It sounds like he's starting to play well here for the playoffs. So what the Warriors are old and they're young and they're just not a lot in the middle. And so that's sort of their issue. But they have been playing better lately. I think they won 9 out of 10 games at one point here recently, or maybe it was 9 out of 10 road games, which is even more impressive. So I don't know. I was for a while saying, "Oh, we're getting excited about nothing," but now I'm starting to get excited. And so the Kings are missing one key player. They have this guy Malik Monk, who is their really good guard. I think he's a shooting guard. Their point guard's name is De'Aaron Fox. He's outstanding, really, really fast. The Warriors are missing your buddy, Gary Payton II, is out injured. The young glove, Gary Payton's son. He's a great defender, great dunker, and underrated shooter. So sad to see him out, but I think that is advantage Warriors. If you told me, the Kings are missing Malik Monk and we're missing GP2, I'd say that's, that tilts the scales even more towards the Warriors. And I was listening to a Kings reporter on 95.7 The Game, the radio station here in the Bay Area, one of the radio stations, sports stations. And it's really the one. The KMBR is really falling off the AM station. So she was basically saying, like, hey, if the Kings win, they'll be really celebrating. If they lose, they're not going to be too surprised.
Oh, wow.
Because the Warriors have got all these guys that have been there, done that, as far as high pressure.
Well, that's true. Even though they're getting up in age.
And win or go home is high pressure. I don't care how long the series is. Most of them go to game 5 or game 7. This is just like game 7, but it's game 1. Jimmy Perez in the house. I believe that's Jimmy Perez. Jimmy. Let's speak for him.
What up, Jimmy?
Got James Denall in the house. Coming to
What
us
up,
from across the
James?
pond.
Been a minute, sir. Been a minute.
Yeah.
Appreciate you stopping in.
No doubt. We got Bebop Jones in the house.
What up, Bebop?
Saying yo. Jimmy
Check
saying
in on the
let's go
Discord.
Dubs. Bebop
Check
says
in.
winning in. Dave McNiner in the house. Make sure to check out his channel. Says what's good, Ted. Still no visor. You get mugged. No, I took it off. We had Raj and I had John Pay on yesterday on the show, and I took it off. I also haven't been wearing a jersey the last couple shows. I'm kind of going a little more neutral.
Are you on strike until they sign Brandon Ayuk?
Not exactly, but I mean, I think I'm just going to start trying to cover more than just the Niners. So I'm going to have to tone all this down a little too, obviously.
You know what you should do? Just make yourself a virtual background, get a green screen. Bang, bang.
Yeah, that's probably what I should do. But for now, I just ditched the visor and the jersey for the moment. We'll see. It may come back. I'm just trying it, going something a little more neutral.
What's all this? What's all this?
Yeah.
Neutral as fuck.
Neutral, yeah.
Neutral.
No. That way I don't look like such a homer, maybe. Even though I don't think I really am much of a homer. Got Jesus M in the house.
Hey Zeus, what up? Hey Zeus.
Says agree once A's are in MLB. Once A's are in Vegas, no MLB for me. So I guess he's still following them while they're in SAC. Says Pajemski. Yeah, he's the rookie out of Santa Clara U. I went to Santa Clara.
That's how you spell Pajemski?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Man.
Yeah, they just call them pods. If you want to just make it easy, just call them pods.
That's cool. Pajemski, once you say it, it's not bad, but spelling it, that's worse than use check.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? Because use check you can kind of get once you see it a couple times, but yeah, those
don't ask me to do use check without
those consonants aren't matching up with the words that are cut. The letters that are cut sounds are coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, and then Dana Barry says, yeah, they should win. I'm guessing if he's a Rams fan, he's probably a Lakers fan, and Lakers would probably be next if they handle their. Actually, I guess it would be if the Lakers lose, they would play the winner of the 9-10 game. So I don't know. That'll be interesting to see what happens with the Lakers series. So imagine, yeah. I'm imagining it. Everybody wants it because LeBron Curry is the best rivalry in the last couple decades in the NBA. So
it is not good for this 49er fan base.
Some are saying the best rivalry of all time, just because of how many times they've met in the finals. Like no other.
No.
I know, but people say that because of not because there were so many great battles in the finals. There were a couple good ones, but a couple of them were stinkers. The Warriors just the KD years, the Warriors just trounced them. It was like 4-1 and 4-0 in the finals.
I think that rumor comes from Warriors fans who are trying to put themselves in the talk, because to me, like, that's Lakers and Celtics.
No, but it's not. So
Bulls Magic Detroit.
Magic Bird.
Magic Bird is
talking about one-on-one.
Ever.
We're talking about superstar matchups. I mean, I guess it ends up being teams usually anyway, but I would put Bird Magic above it. But they only played in the finals a couple or three times. So the fact that the Warriors and LeBron have faced off, and then obviously there was the play-in where the Warriors lost to the Lakers, and last year the Warriors, or 2 years ago, the Warriors lost to the Lakers in the playoffs. That was last year. So then that's like 5-6 times that Curry and LeBron have faced off in the playoffs. So then it starts to get to be quite a lot, especially since most of it they're on different sides of the bracket. But I can understand arguments for both. Imagine Lakers tank to face Warriors. I don't think anybody wants to face the Warriors right now. I think they're playing some pretty good basketball. The Warriors beat the Lakers 3-1 during the season. The Lakers won the first one back before Christmas, and I don't think they won one in the new year. I think it was 3-0 Warriors in the new year, as they started to get this youngsters playing more and playing better. So I don't think anybody's tanking to face the Warriors personally, unless it's like part of a league scheme by Daniel Silver.
That would have to be script stuff. I don't know why any franchise would be like, hey, it would be a great thing if we just, threw in the playoffs, let's just throw this series so we can hopefully meet this other team. Doesn't that sound amazing? No. What you do is you continue winning, and if they make it, they make it. If they don't, they don't. And when they fall out, you just point and laugh, go, ha ha ha.
No doubt. Sorry, I just had to step away for a second. My dog came in and opened the door.
You get naked?
What's that?
He's getting naked over here.
No. I just had to close the door. Yeah, you never know what's down below the screen, do you?
Oh,
hey now.
Let's take bets. Anybody in the chat got money on this? Shorts, pants?
Short
neither. A short bet. Oh, the poor misses.
So the door was open. The dog came in and left, and he didn't close the door behind himself. So you could hear the washer dryer going in the background. So I was trying to spare everybody from that.
He came in to see if he could get some attention or some food, and he realized you're on YouTube. He's like, "Oh, fuck this, I'm out, bro." He ain't got no time for me.
He's on that stupid computer again. Yeah, no doubt. I
got my 2 tabs.
James Janal says I'm going to have to watch the replay, guys. Weiss needs me. Let's love. Hey, no worries, James. As long as you
no
watch,
worries.
We don't mind when. And that's a good reminder, we're streaming on both channels. If you're on TED Talks Ball, make sure you get over to No Border Sports. Give Ryan a like and subscribe. Same thing if you're on No Border Sports, come on over to TED Talks Ball. Give me a like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Helps us to keep doing what we do for you. In fact, and if you're watching on a browser, you can just open up 2 tabs and watch us both at the same time. Just make sure that you, mute one of them. Otherwise, it can get a little confusing. So I was just looking at your title, Brock Purdy's Sexy Tractor. Oh.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Buddy video, the ad with Colton McKivitz.
I'm talking about the John Deere contract that Brock Purdy signed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, this morning on Pat McAfee. Brock Purdy was on with them. Shout out. Go check that. Our SF 49ers live has already got some clips up if you want to see. I noticed that earlier. But yeah, no, he was on there. He got a deal with Toyota too. He's got a deal with Toyota, and he's got a deal with John Deere. So dude's making his money.
And the corn company, something or other seed.
Yeah. Also, he saved a reporter lady's life and her dog's life.
Wow.
He goes, holy Jesus. He says, that looks like, or I don't know if he said holy Jesus, but he was taken aback by the size of this coyote that he described as a small wolf that was going after her, and the like he was, stalking her, I guess, following behind, whatever you want to call it, however you want to put it, or however he put it. And went to yell and say, hey, you got a coyote behind you, and that scared off the coyote.
Nice.
She was a news reporter, and they're out there filming a commercial for tractor. Yeah, John Deere.
A coyote wolf.
Well, it was a big ass coyote, which was on its way to a wolf.
There you
go. You know what I mean? They got teeth.
Love it. Red Jet Shaw in the house. She says, hey kiddos, go Warriors. Like and sub their channels.
Shout out Red Jet. Be sure to go check her out when she's on other people's shows.
Carcast in the house. He says, yo, make sure to open 2 tabs. He did, because there he is.
Make sure to check out the Carcast channel.
2 different places. Home is what you make it. LOL.
That was about you turning off the camera there for a second.
Hey now. Home is where you make it.
now that I will object to.
Sheesh.
And actually, oh man, I don't know, Bebop. Some people take that home is what you make it, or where you make it, or what was it? Home is. Why can't I? Home is what you make it. Yeah, that Diddy. You know what I mean? He'd be doing too much in his home. So make sure check things out. Be a little safe. Don't do weird things.
No doubt about it. Well, so just to put a bow on the Warrior stuff, I mean, I expect they'll win. I bet they're favored. Let's take a look.
What's the King's motto again? Light the torch or whatever?
Light the beam. Light
Yeah.
the beam.
Light the beam.
They have the purple laser beam. But actually, I guess it is in Sacramento. So if they win, it would, I mean, they'd probably do it either way, but it's more impactful when it's like, hey, yeah, they're playing. So we got Warriors minus 2.5. So not a big spread, but I guess big for being on the road. And are the Warriors? I guess it doesn't say on here. I'm just trying to remember if they're. I'm pretty sure they are the 10th seed. Yeah, because I was just saying no 10th seed has ever made the playoffs. So yeah, that's where that came from. It'll be interesting to see. I definitely think the Warriors will miss GP2, but I think not as much as the Kings will miss Malik Monk. And just watch out for our Sabonis.
The playoffs is where they start actually playing defense. So that might be a little hard having your defensive guy out.
Yeah, he's one of our defensive guys, but we also have Draymond, obviously, who's a very good defender. But he's a lot smaller than Sabonis. Sabonis is a lot taller than Draymond.
Is Draymond, which one's the dude that keeps getting kicked out by doing dumb shit?
Yeah, Draymond Green.
Draymond, yeah.
Yeah. People say that Dre Greenlaw and Draymond Green are very similar.
No, not at all.
Yeah, Greenlaw getting all his, ejections and face masks and suplexes and just taking it a little too far.
Some of that stuff is.
I mean, Draymond is dumber for sure. I mean, he's smart, but he does dumber things.
Dre Greenlaw is doing stuff that closely aligns with his job description. You know what I'm saying? At certain times, yes, he's getting flagged for certain things, but those types of things are how you get an edge in football. And when you get caught, yes, you get in trouble, but there's that going on. You know what I mean? Now, face masks, I don't condone face masks. You know what I mean? And I want to keep people safe, but like he gets a little extra heat. Now, Draymond be doing the same type of shit in a sport that allows no physical contact.
Plus, he clocked old. I'm blanking on the guy's name, and all of a sudden, the younger guy.
Yeah.
But that guy has totally fallen apart since he went to the Wizards.
That doesn't mean shit. You can't treat people like
that. Draymond was right about him being, kind of a not having his heart all in it, and that he was kind of loafing, and that's what Draymond got mad at because he was half-assing it.
So act like an adult.
Jordan Poole, JP.
Look, act like an adult and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? When it's not like he affronted your wife or your child or, you know what I mean?
He talked and he shoved, and then the next thing after a shove is a fist. So, I mean, it's just kind of a natural escalation.
But what was said? Maybe it was like, because look.
Nobody knows. That's the part nobody knows. So,
maybe I don't want you around me. Look, maybe the shove was to give me space, and whether that throws the next punch or not, that doesn't matter to me because at least I've gotten my space and now I'm expecting it. You know what I mean? So then I can do something about it, whether it's get out of the way or counter. I want my space back. There was I don't know if you've ever seen the clip, but not Tito Ortiz, Wanderlei Silva, the axe murderer versus Chael Sonnen, and they're doing the Ultimate Fighter, and the shit talking gets real close, and Chael realizes this isn't going well. All right, and he realizes this guy is known for knocking people out. He's got that great power. And Chael's like, whether I start the fight now or it starts when I get knocked out, I'm starting it now, because at least after this point on, I've got a chance and a say in things. So I understand the pushing back, because that gives you that distance to be able to mitigate things. Because if you're going to take a hit, it's good to know that it's coming, at least so you can try and move with it. Soft hands like a baseball, where you catch it real softly and bring it into your body. Sometimes you got to do that with your face and somebody's fist. It's how you don't get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Because if they're going to make contact, let's lighten it.
Interesting. I like it. Well, anyway, bottom line is a lot of people were begrudging Draymond for the confrontation with Jordan Poole, before he left, but then now he's left and he hasn't done well. And that's a little bit of indication for Draymond. So
I still don't think that justifies it, but because there's other things like what the other night he got kicked out for doing, what was it that he did? Did he throw the ball at somebody, tell somebody to F off or something, like 4 minutes into the game?
Oh yeah. I mean, he got suspended and indefinitely suspended. He had to go to counseling.
What is this? Why?
The NBA is sick of his antics, essentially.
Well, how can not everybody, if you get paid too much to act like this on the field? You know what I mean? If you want to do this outside of the field, waste other people's times, that's cool. They can watch you. But while the cameras are on and it's between the whistles, you know what I mean? Stop with this shit.
My biggest thing with Draymond was that I felt like he was loafing it against the Lakers last year in the playoff series. And this year in the game 4, he went 5 for 5 from 3 before the half and was 5 for 7 on the game. So I was like, all right, he's definitely not loafing it against the Lakers. So at least give him some credit there, because he's buddy with LeBron. And
is he known for being a partier? Because to me, that last stunt was like, man, it seemed like he stayed up too much the night before partying, and he just decided, I don't want to have to go through this right now. So he got
no. I don't think so. Not even before he was a family man, and now he's got a wife and a kid. I think it's even whatever it was. I think it's even less. So I think he's. I don't think any of the Warriors are big partiers. Current Warriors, I guess I should say. Clay is definitely known for dating Instagram models, but I don't know if that's partying. What do you call that?
I think you probably got to do a little bit of that just to keep them entertained.
There you go. So
at least fund it. There
you go. It's not cheap, I can imagine.
Bro, one guy paid $1 million to take Ice Spice out on a date. Like, he spent $1 million on Ice Spice, and I was like, man, bro, that's
probably didn't even get any either.
But that does, to me, I just don't see the first thing. Who is worth $1 million first date? To me, if I'm a chick, I'm like, why? If I'm thinking about dating you, it's because we're thinking about marriage. You know what I mean? Dating is an interview to marriage. Okay. If you're just effing, you're just effing. You know what I mean? There's nothing, who cares? So why do I want you throwing out all that money, the bag that essentially I feel is going to be our bag? Why do I want you to throw? Hold on to that. You never know. You know what I mean? How about we live
and
good
it's not
forever?
It's not even like when the Mattress King would make those crazy bets in the NC2A championships and stuff, and bet $1 million on one of the teams, where he could hedge the bet and kind of bet 100 different ways for 10 grand or whatever the figure is, 10 grand to hedge the bet for the other team. There's no way to hedge that bet with Ice Spice. That's just $1 million down the drain.
Well, even hedging the bet aside, he gets marketing from that.
Yeah. The Mattress King guy does, for sure.
Yeah. Not just that, but I believe the thing is he uses the bet to hedge his deal.
Right. And then
Have you
everybody
heard about that?
with the Ice Spice thing, they're like, it's kind of the
'Cause he
opposite of marketing. They're like, oh, this guy's desperate. You got to pay $1 million to get a date.
he does a deal for his mattresses if they win.
Right.
And so if they win, to pay for all that discount, he makes this bet. And so that's the hedge of that's hedging the bet, hedging his
That's how he
deal.
does it. Okay, I wasn't
Yeah.
sure.
It's
I
not
thought it was
essentially
maybe some backdoor bets that you don't hear about to even it out, so that he's really not at risk. Whoever wins, he gets paid the $1 million type of thing.
yeah. No, that's him just to cover to essentially
Cost of
follow
the
through
discount.
on his deal.
There you go.
Because if you buy this from this, like if you buy it within this time, then if they win, you get it for this price.
There you go. All right.
Yeah. And it gives everybody, and like I said, marketing too on top of it. So and guess what? Everybody's going to want to buy to take in on that deal. You know what I mean? Heck yeah. They don't care. Somebody else is paying for it. It's smart.
Yeah. No. Speaking of basketball, did you see the Caitlin Clark announcements that she signed with a pro team? I think it was like the
Indianapolis
Fever or something like that.
Something.
And somebody was showing her annual salaries,
a little under 400,000, something like that.
Yeah, for 4 years. I mean, it was more like a little under 300,000 for 4 years. It looked like it was about 75K a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right, here it is. So 338 for 4 years. So not under 300, but under 350. 76, 78, 85, 97, and change. All of them have change. I'm not going to go into all that. But somebody I saw tweeted, and they were like, oh, congratulations to Caitlin Clark getting signed into the WNBA just so she could make less money than she was making in college, because the women's, tourney was crazy this year, the ratings between her and the South Carolina gals and whatever.
And this might be the transition into the new way of doing things. What up, Red Jet? Oh yeah, that's right. We said what's up earlier.
Hey, you get a double shout out, Jet.
Double shout out, Red Jet. No, I think this is the change. Look at who I can't remember what team got both Angel Reese and the lady for the Gamecocks, the Beast for the Gamecocks. So one team picked up two of the best players, I think, in the whole ladies tournament, and cool. 2 out of 3.
So there's no draft for the WNBA like there is for the NBA.
Anyway, so I'm just saying they got 2 of them, and that's going to be nasty. Yeah, Camila Cardoso. Yes, that's going to be nasty, and I think that's going to give you that, like, so back in the day, Magic and Bird brought essentially basketball back from kind of the ropes, the rink of existence or extinction. And I think these ladies will be what takes the WNBA forward. And I think with these ladies playing to the high caliber that they are, it's going to make all the other young girls aspire to play to that same caliber. Like, that is the bar, that is the norm. And that's how they're going to get better. And that's how it's going to be essentially more entertaining for the people who think that it's not entertaining enough now. You know what I mean? Like, football's football to me. Like, I've been watching some of the UFL and like USFL, and I'm like, heck yeah, this is awesome. Some of the kickers are doing work over there. It seems like in basketball, people aren't welcomed as much to this as it's like I've heard people talk about in UFC, the women fighters. It's just not the same. And I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. They might not be doing all the same stuff here or there, or maybe is quicker, but they're getting after it. They have the same motivation. They have the same like expectation to bring the highest uh, they give their all essentially and give their highest form of competition out there. And that's all you could really ask from anybody. I personally, when I heard the women were going to start in the UFC, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to see that. And it's not that I didn't think that they were good. I just didn't know if I wanted to see a woman all bloodied up, and getting beat on. And what I found was the moment that first fight happened between those ladies, I was like, oh, they're professionals. And I didn't look at it as two women fighting. I looked at it as two pros fighting. And that's something I wasn't able to see beforehand. And once it was in front of me, I was like, oh, that's just two pros going at it. So once people understand that the WNBA are pros and they just understand it's two pros going at it, no matter what you think they're, how much they can lift, all this and that. Like in hockey, you got the women's teams. Are they pulling off all the crazy dekes and stuff that the men do? No. But guess what? They're doing most of it. You know what I mean? And it's just time. It's just time until somebody sets that bar and everybody else strives to that bar to make it the norm. It's just time.
Makes sense. I feel you. Kind of like that. Just two professionals.
It's the only way I could, because I remember thinking back to it, like, why was all of a sudden I was like cool with it when I this and that, and I realized by us sitting there, it's just two pros going at it. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or two women or two men. These people work on their craft. They normally in the UFC, the fighters are kind of well paired towards each other to kind of make it a better fight, but also so you don't have just some one-handed stuff. So to see two people about the same skill level going at it, it's a war, and it's just something to stand back and watch. Two professionals.
There have been some wars, no doubt about it. Ronda Rousey was pretty amazing there for a minute.
I got what's her name? Rose. What's her last name? She's it's the Lithuanian Rose Nimahara or something like that. She gets a little emotional, but she wrecks these fucks. Oh my God. The last one I saw of her, she was going up against a Chinese lady who everybody was like, oh, she's going to get destroyed by this Chinese lady. And she essentially slumped her with a kick right out the gate. It was amazing. There was another fight. This other lady, she was the champion before Rose. It's going to bug me. Anyway, this lady was talking hella shit, and Rose whooped her ass and then hugged her afterwards. And then as she's got her belt, she's crying, just saying we just need to love each other more. Just a badass. What's her fucking last name? God damn it. You muted? Yeah, you're muted.
I said spreading love one knuckle at a time. And I said, Joel was saying Cameron Brank's second pick to Los Angeles Sparks. That's one of the other attorney gals from Stanford.
What's up with what's her name? Becker's from UConn? Rose Namajunas. Yes. Namajunas. She's awesome.
Everybody make sure you check out Carcast channel as well too. He's doing great stuff.
Yeah, I missed all the UFC fights this last weekend. Heard they were two epic ones.
Did we miss much 49ers news from last week? Did we talk about Rock Yassin on Tuesday when we spoke?
No, we did not.
Or Yassin? I don't know how you pronounce his name.
You know what? It's cool enough to say it anyway. You know what I mean? Like
Yassin, so
Rock Yassin, Rock Yassin. Like it's cool, whatever way you say it. Not to say that I have the pull to be turning around and telling everybody how you could say it, but The way I see it, like, that's a cool name no matter how anybody says it. So I wouldn't, if that was my name, I wouldn't be offended. Just as long as you say it and it sounds cool.
Cool name, solid corner.
Yeah.
Pretty good hitter. Pretty good tackler. I'm relatively excited about it. I mean, for a cheap 1-year edition rental, while the young guys mature a little bit more.
Yeah. And who knows? Some of these, I don't see Ambry lasting much longer. I feel they're going to try and replace him in this draft. But we'll see if he can rise to the occasion and become the guy we all expected him to be from the get. Then he'll be able to survive. But right now, I see his position as one of the top positions we're looking for in the draft.
Yeah, corner, D end, linebacker, D tackle, safety, offensive tackle, offensive guard.
Which the Niners are supposedly meeting with their second tackle in a meeting today, which doesn't give me a lot of, like.
Did we talk about Roger Rosengarten last week? There's obviously been some developments with him.
Roger Rosengartner.
Right around the corner from you there.
Oh, the tackle?
Yeah.
Yeah. They were up there at the pro day, Chris Forrester and John Lynch in the UW hoodies.
And supposedly Roger Rosengarten or Rosenstein or whatever his name is, as Rosengarten, I think it is, has been working with Joe Staley on improving his technique.
Oh, wow.
And the Huskies run outside zone scheme. He ran the fastest 40-yard time of any offensive lineman at the combine. So he's athletic. He just isn't a great pass blocker, but that never stopped Kyle Shanahan. So
that never stopped Kyle Shanahan. Is this right tackle or is this left tackle?
Right tackle.
I've also heard that he needs time, and that could be the pass protection. The needs time part could be his pass protection.
Could just be working his way into his man body too.
I don't know. It's so being on the line.
Kyle loves the red shirt rookies too, though. So
when the way I saw it is when I played offensive line before I wrestled, I did not know what to do in pass blocking. I really was not good at it. Once I became a wrestler, I realized where people's center of gravity was, where their weight was located. And I would attack places where I knew that they were vulnerable, essentially. So their shoulders. So when they're trying to make that move around the corner on you and they've got to go switch their hips, if you hit them with your cross arm on their inside shoulder with your outside hand, you're putting a great angle for them to fall back on their ass, essentially. And they have to squat down at that point. And usually, if you get them off bad enough, they have to take another step to steady their weight. And you've just got their rush. You've just added yourself another second and a half on the time at that point in time, because now they have to restart their rush, get all their momentum up and running again. You know what I mean? It's so, to me, if you haven't figured out certain things is like that, that's not everything. That's just for instance, I noticed is that I started to learn things once I figured out more about things. I wonder if he needs to, do something like wrestling or something like that to kind of give him an understanding of, throwing somebody around, because that's what wrestling is throwing someone around and moving somebody who doesn't want to be moved around.
Maybe Chris Forrester could teach him that.
I don't know. He hasn't been able to do it with our guards.
He couldn't do it with McGlinchey, that's for sure.
McGlinchey, Burford. Sorry, wait. Yeah, Burford. Every time I say Burford's name, I have to make sure I'm not saying Brendel.
When you say guard, then it makes me think of Lakin Tomlinson, and you probably heard that he signed nearby you with the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, I thought, did he?
Yeah.
I heard they were doing something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Officially an op now. The Jets, he was kind of neutral. Seahawks, that's as op as it gets for me. That's my most.
I thought he went to, didn't he? I thought he went to Denver. Did he go to the Jets?
You might be thinking of DJ Jones.
I know DJ Jones went there. Believe me, I know.
Well, Seahawks, April 15th, a veteran presence. We signed guard Lakin Tomlinson.
Yeah. But where did he go from?
Jets.
I thought
from us to the Jets, and then Jets to Seahawks. Yeah, because he couldn't pass block for the Jets either. He was getting their QBs creamed.
It's a tough thing. It's not as tough when you're a guard as when you're a tackle, because you've got other bodies kind of around where you can at least just kind of give up and try and drive them into another body.
You're in a phone booth.
Yeah. You got, no matter which way they pick, there's somebody to kind of get them tangled up in, hopefully, if you're good enough. And if you're not, well, we've seen what happens.
Unless they just forklift you straight back into the QB.
Yeah. I think Kyle wanting to have this fast outside zone team all the time, I think it's hurting us in the trenches, kind of on like power run plays and pass protections, because you don't have those anchors. You don't have the anchors to kind of help out. So
other than Trent Williams, who's a unicorn,
but he's on the outside.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah, and when Trent retires, oh, good Lord, we're gonna have issues. We're gonna have big time issues, because the whole rest of the line isn't built to play like that. So, play like Trent Williams can play, just manhandling people and throwing them around.
I don't think there is anyone like Trent Williams who's top 10 or top 5 in both pass blocking and run blocking. Like, that's so unusual.
There's always one in the league at a time, essentially. Yeah. You know what I mean? And when Trent retires, somebody will get up there and take that spot. But how much are you going to have to pay him? Are we going to go out and get the next Trent Williams?
And nobody trades players like that away either.
Except some dumbass Washington Redskins. Or Commanders. I can't even call them blame it on the Commanders.
Well, they were the Redskins at the time. So
yeah.
It's historically correct. What else is going on?
We had Brandon Ayuk delete the 49ers from his Instagram.
Predictable. I wasn't surprised by that at all. Right out of the Deebo Samuel playbook.
Yeah. I'm not moved by it. I just want we had the trade request rumor that came out, and then that was quickly batted down
by Ayuk's agent.
And was it Ayuk also? Didn't I hear something about Ayuk saying something about y'all need to do your homework, or y'all need to something or other? Was that the agent that said that? Y'all need to do your research or something like that?
I don't know. I wasn't following it too closely, but
yeah.
Because I'm still of the mind that Ayuk wants to be here and we want him to be here. So
this is just negotiations.
From a real source like Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter, then I'm going to assume that all is fine and it'll all be worked out. I guess the other news was Devonta Smith signed 3 years, 75 with the Eagles, 25 mil a year. And so some people are saying that's the floor for Brandon Ayuk now. You can't sign him for less than 25 mil.
Which I thought was, I didn't think you were going to be able to sign him for less than 25 mil.
I said 24 to 26. So
I'm telling you, I'm saying it's probably going to be 25 and some change, 26. Probably closer to, I say 26. That's in my gut, because the way I see it is 27 is the top, what he should be getting paid. After all said and done, they're going to figure out a way to discount that an extra mil, and that's where it's going to be.
Wouldn't shock me one bit. But I think there are arguments you could make as to why Devonta Smith is better than Ayuk. Not statistically, but just the fact that he's more of a primary target than Ayuk is, whereas we have Debo and Kittle and CMC.
It's not Ayuk's fault.
I understand. Well, isn't it?
No.
I kind of think. If you're so good, you just make it impossible not to throw the ball to you.
He didn't drop a ball for like the first 4 games of the season, if I'm correct.
But I did say that I thought Devonta Smith had better hands than Ayuk because, he had that stretch of not dropping balls, but he's dropped quite a few. Not as many as Debo, and Debo not as many as Jennings, but none of our receivers have what I would call great hands.
But why does Brandon Ayuk necessarily need that when he's so great at his footwork that he's open? So now look, and all situations aren't going to be absolute, right? Obviously, there's times where somebody's going to cover him. They're going to, take the right approach angle. They're going to guess correctly on what he's doing. But most of the time, Brandon Ayuk is all alone in the field.
But that's part of what I'm saying, is that part of that is because he's the 4th target. And if he's getting more attention from better DBs, from cornerback ones, say, and maybe even some safety help, it might be a little tougher to get open.
Okay. But at the same point, all that can be defeated by footwork. You know what I'm saying? The same footwork that I'm saying he's good at. Yeah.
He's a great route runner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and he's smart too. So when he steps up to the line, he checks to make sure he's good with the ref, and then he's looking at the defense, sizing them up, and then he looks straight in at the ball, and he knows what's going on out here, and now he's just looking to see if anything's changing with the quarterback because he's all set up. This guy knows what's going on. He knows pre-snap whether the ball's going to him or not, and he's still trying to break those cornerbacks' ankles. Yes.
Looks like he has a promising career. Bebop Jones says, pay the man. Looks like Brandon Ayuk has a promising career at Applebee's, too, if all else falls through with the NFL. So.
Wait, what?
He was an undercover athlete as a server at Applebee's for a day. And
that's hilarious.
People kept going, don't I know you from somewhere? And like, aren't you Brandon Ayuk? He's like, they're doing all these selfies. And he did a really good job. I mean, of what they showed in the video, who knows? But it was pretty funny.
I'm pretty sure he would do a good job. I'm pretty sure that man probably likes to do well at anything he, puts in front of him.
Yeah, they were like, you think you got it? And he was like, yeah, I memorized the playbook. I think I can do this.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But he wasn't snooty about it. He was pretty humble. And
I don't think his parents would let him.
Yeah.
Did you see his parents? Oh, his mother. Oh, his mother didn't let him get away with shit when he
She
was a
was so
kid.
excited after the NFC Championship.
As she should be. Such a cute family.
Yeah.
Just adorable. The father. Whoa, I can't remember the line, but I remember him saying something like, "Wow, that was big." Yeah, yes, it was, sir. Oh, if only we could got the Super Bowl win. Oh,
Yeah, maybe next year. I don't know, but if you ask Aaron, he'll tell you we're having a first round exit. So
there could be truth to that, but I'm kind of, I don't know. I feel our depth is a little bit better. They focused on the depth this offseason, which I'm appreciative of. But I still don't think we have an answer for Dre Greenlaw's spot.
unless you believe Devondre Campbell,
Our
or maybe D Winners, or
I could see D Winners stepping up. He was getting some shots last year. I don't know. That's just up in the air for me. Also, cornerback, Ambry Thomas, safety. Safety's a big one. So Aaron could be totally right if we fall on our faces in the draft with safety, maybe cornerback. We got some guys now, but still, who knows if Ambry's seeing the field at any kind of consistent way. We are not playing the best football out there with how he's played in the past.
No, I mean, clearly we're trying everything we can at corner. We got the Isaac Yadom guy. We got the guy from the Lions. And then obviously Rock Yassin.
Rock Yassin.
Who I like the most of the bunch for sure. The other guy from the Lions is more of a special teamer anyway.
I wish we would have gotten that tight end of theirs.
Yeah. Brock
Wright.
Brock Wright. I still think it leaves it open for Brock Bauer, so I'm fingers crossed on that somehow we move up.
We ain't getting no Brock Bauer. You crazy.
Man can dream. Man can dream.
His mom's a Niners fan.
Yeah, he grew up in Napa or Vallejo or somewhere north east of San Francisco.
I used to look out at Vallejo.
I'm gonna say Napa.
I lived in Bay Point, and I lived up on the hill there, and I could look out over the Delta and see Vallejo.
I don't know if you saw, but it was voted the most culturally diverse city in the United States, Vallejo, California.
Is that because of Africa Marine World?
I don't know. I think just because of the number of people living from different countries all in one place compared to the population size, they had a lot of diversity. New York City and San Francisco were up there. Or San Francisco was up there. New York City was up there.
I could see how New York City is. Seattle.
Jersey City, New Jersey was another one.
I could see Seattle being up there. Well,
no,
maybe not, because it's diverse, but it's like, I think 3 different groups, I'd say. Well, not even 3 different groups. We are the gateway into Asia. So like we've got a lot of Japanese up here, Chinese, like I never noticed it until I started going to Seattle. I was like, oh wow, we're really diverse. And then Seattle's got like Indians, big time. Because all the software and tech. So
sure.
They're pretty.
But that's like Redmond, though, right? I mean, so it's not exactly.
Well, Seattle too. Seattle, it's that whole area is essentially kind of a zone, I guess I would call it. You know what I mean? People are living there and working outside. Not Bellingham, but what is it? Bellevue has more millionaires per capita, I believe, than any other place in the United States. That's where Russell Wilson used to live.
Nice town, Kirkland, right around the corner.
Kirkland, yeah, that's
We had lunch out on the water there in Kirkland. It was beautiful. It's like
yeah.
90 degrees when we were up there last year for Mother's Day. It was hot as balls.
The good thing about Washington is when the sun's out, at least like the grass is green, the trees are, you know what I mean? Instead of everything being dead.
And brown, yeah, like California.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you only get to see that for a couple months, so. But it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
There you go. Any other stuff that we should cover? I know you gotta get back to work here before too long. So
yeah. I don't know.
I think it's maybe a good time to say thanks to everybody who stopped by. And we'll see y'all next week.
Appreciate you all.
And I'll just say peace. Go Niners.
And we out.